First guest tonight is one of my favorite people in the whole town. He is an 11-time Emmy-nominated actor and Los Angelino through and through. Please say hello to Anthony Anderson. Very good to see you.
All right, good to be seen. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I like this outfit you're wearing, too. It's utilitarian. It's like the kind of thing
Thank you.
You wear in a fashionable emergency, a fashion emergency, if you will.
Thank you.
You were born here, you're raised here, you love this city, correct?
Yes, yeah, born and raised right here in Compton, California, man.
What's the ring you have on right now?
This is my college fraternity ring, Omega Psi Phi.
Okay, all right.
Fraternity Incorporated.
I thought maybe the Dodgers slipped you one on the way out or something.
Well, you know, I do have one.
You have? Oh, you do?
I have a 2020 World Series ring, and I'm waiting for my 2024 World Series ring.
Really?
Yes, sir. I am a child of Los Angeles, baby. Come on.
So's Guillermo, but he didn't get anything.
I don't have one.
Guillermo's flammable, as you said.
Very flammable tonight. Yes. Are you surprised by how quickly this city came together?
Not at all.
No.
It's what we do. I mean,
It was immediate, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There was no hesitation.
Yeah, no, there was no hesitation. I mean, we've seen a lot and gone through a lot in this city, and we've always been able to band together and come together as a family and rebuild the city the way that it needed to be done.
You were out there volunteering with World Central Kitchen.
Yes.
We have a photograph there. There you are. Where were you?
We were on the west side at the YMCA. That was just a couple of days ago. Yeah, man.
How many meals did you serve?
We served 300 meals. I met Jose Andres when I was a judge on Iron Chef America years ago.
Oh.
And we befriended one another. So he was one of the first people that I called and was like, yo, what are you doing here in Los Angeles? And whatever you're doing, how can I volunteer? And they sent me to a couple places.
Yeah, they get right there wherever something tough is going on. And where were you when the fire started?
I was actually in Las Vegas on business, and
What kind of business were you on?
It was the Consumer Electronics Show.
Oh, all right.
And I was going to see the new sex dolls. For business purposes.
Of course, yeah.
No,
Most
but
people don't know you're in the sex doll. You're a sex doll magnate.
I want to see these new robots, Jimmy. But no, so that's where I was, and I got a call where I had been monitoring everything, and my neighborhood was put in the red flag zone.
Right.
And I couldn't get out of Vegas in time, so I called my son and my best friend Skinny Boy to get to my house and get the important things out.
Your son and Skinny Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does Skinny Boy weigh? I'm just curious.
Skinny, what does he weigh?
Yeah.
He's about 230 now.
I had a feeling. That's always the best. A reverse nickname.
Yeah.
So your son is Skinny Boy. And then do they decide what to take out of the house?
No, I told them. It was just two simple things. I needed Skinny Boy to go to the safe and take out the passports and the important papers and the jewelry. And my son, his responsibility was to get my diabetic medication.
Okay. And now, do you feel comfortable that Skinny Boy knows the combination to your safe?
Somebody always has to know the combination to the safe.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's the one.
He's the one.
Outside of me, he's the only person that knows the combination to the
Your
safe.
son doesn't have the combination?
My son does not know the combination. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And he's in the will, but the will was in the safe, so we needed Skinny Boy to get to it.
And then did you fly right home?
I flew right home the next morning. So Thursday I got home. And you know, what's that new app? What's it called?
Watch Duty.
Watch Duty.
Right.
So I downloaded Watch Duty before I left Las Vegas and saw everything that was on Watch Duty. And what was crazy, I live at the base of the reservoir in the Encino Hills, and the evacuation line stopped 50 feet right before my house. So I didn't know if I was safe or if I needed to leave. I was confused.
Right.
Yeah, because it was like, yo, you're good. We didn't include your yard in it. So
yeah, right,
you know.
Yeah.
It was one of those things.
And
Yeah.
so you left, of course.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I stood on my balcony.
Did you really?
I really did. I stood on my balcony for the longest time, like a movie director on cocaine, just like filming everything that was going on in the neighborhood, and I was sending the photos and the pictures to, you know, my thread group. You know my thread: Don Cheeto, Said the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, and George Lopez and Chris Spencer. That's my
your
group
golf
of friends.
too.
Yeah. So I'm sending them the pictures and the videos, like, wow, look at this, and they were like, yo, you should get the out of there, Anthony. And I was just, it was just crazy. It was just surreal to watch and see what was happening. That at one point I realized, I was like, oh, maybe I do need to get the up out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and but I want to commend our firemen and women and everybody for doing what they could when they could and for as long as they could. I mean, there was nothing like, you know, our firefighters out there, you know, saving the city as best they could.
Do you know your neighbors? Like, are you in touch with the people on your block?
Jimmy, I've owned this home for about 8 years, right? I've never met any of my neighbors.
Really?
No, and well, actually, I know two personally, but I found out they added me to this neighborhood conversation on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then I find out that they've been having these conversations for about 10 years without me being on them.
Oh.
You know. So I was taken a little back about that, but then, you know, I'm the only, you know, Michael B. Jordan and myself are the only black people in our neighborhood. Well, 3 if you include Machine Gun Kelly. So.
Wait,
So.
why would you include?
Yeah, I mean, I include him. That's my brother. So it's the 3 of us, but they don't have MBJ and MGK on the WhatsApp. It's just me. So I befriended them on this WhatsApp. So
So now you
James
know.
and Rodney and all the other white people on the WhatsApp in my neighborhood. It's me.
What about all your shoes? I know you have like 500 pairs of shoes. Did you leave them behind?
That was my dilemma in escaping my home.
Yeah.
But I did, man. You know, I packed as much as I could in as many suitcases as I could.
Was there one particular like pair that Michael Jordan gave you or something like that?
It was. I took a few pair of Jordan shoes.
You did, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a signed pair of Kobe Adidas shoes that I made sure that I took out of the house, because it was actually when he was with Adidas from his rookie season, and we had him on our television show, which was my first television show, Hang Time. And thank you. And I was instrumental in getting Kobe onto the show, and we shot scenes together. And I was like, "Hey, Kobe, can I have those shoes?" So he took the shoes off his feet and signed them for me and gave them to me. So that was the pair that I took with me.
Yeah, that's good. How's your mom, by the way? Was she affected by this?
I have issues with my mom right
what's
now.
the problem?
In light of everything that's been going on in Los Angeles, you know, my mother hasn't called me.
No!
My mother hasn't, but to this day, she hasn't called me
check
to this
in on
day
you?
to check in on me to see how I was doing.
Did you check in on her?
I did.
And she didn't check
She didn't
back?
pick up her phone. I sent her a text message. As I'm thinking about it, Mama, are you okay? But no, she hasn't called me at all. And I sent pictures on our family thread, and everybody on the family thread called me or sent me a text message after the fact, except for my mother and my brother.
Really?
Yeah, so guess
Well.
who's out of the will now?
It's going to be a very sad Mother's Day, Doris, that's for sure. Anthony Anderson is with us. We'll be right back. We're back with Anthony Anderson here in Los Angeles, California. Now, all right, so we've gotten out of the way. Everybody's okay. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with you.
What's that?
You were supposed to be here on Halloween, and you got sick. You remember that?
I do.
And, of course, we're worried about you getting
Yes.
sick and all that, right?
Yes.
And then the next day, you post all of these pictures. No. The way I see it, one of two things has happened here.
Right.
Either you were not sick, or you potentially infected some of the great stars of the diet.
No.
Which one was it,
No,
Anthony
it's
Anderson?
neither one of those. Haven't you ever heard of something called the 24-hour flu?
It wasn't even 24 hours.
No. So this is the thing.
Let me check the
Now that's Skinny
timestamps.
Boy right there. That's
Whoa,
Skinny
that's
Boy.
Skinny Boy.
That's
Oh.
Skinny Boy right there. So he convinced me to get out of my sick bed. He was like, "Yo, Ant." He was like, "Man, they just won the World Series. I feel that you were an instrumental part of that. You have to be at the ceremony." And I was like, "Skinny Boy, I can't do that, man." I was like, "Man, I'm saying," he said, "Ant, we don't know when this is gonna happen again. We got to go." And so he forced me to get out of bed, man. And I was in bed for 2 more days after that. I
So
should
in
have
other
never
words,
left.
Skinny Boy cares so little about your health and welfare. He's like, I don't care how sick you are. I want to go to
He
this.
wanted to go, and all he wanted was Ohtani autographed jersey.
And did he get it?
He got it.
At your expense.
At my expense.
I don't think he should have the combination to your safe. I feel like I should have the combination to your
You
safe.
got it. And I want to say thank you, man, because you were a true friend, because you sent a care package to my house
I
tonight.
did. I sent you soup.
Yeah, no, you did. You sent me tons of soup, and that was the stuff that got me better. I want to thank.
That's
even though
why
I did.
I should have the combination to
Even
your
though I
safe.
thanked you then, I'm going to thank you publicly, and you'll have the combination to the safe.
So listen, you went to the Clippers game last night, right?
I did.
And you went to the Lakers game the night before.
Yes, I did.
You love going to these games.
I do.
I saw you on Instagram. Will you tell us the story of what happened on the way to that Clippers game?
You talking about from a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So I was picking up Skinny Boy. We were driving down Western, and right before we got to Century, I hit 2 potholes. And I was only going about 40 miles an hour, but I have low-profile tires on the car, and they popped. And I was like, I cannot park my car on the side of the road where I was at that particular time. So I hobbled it down to Van Ness and Century, and I parked it at a gas station, and I called to have my car towed. Now, this is the thing. I'm sitting there waiting to get my car towed, and this dude from the hood rolls up in the moped, and he looks and he sees the car, and he gets on the phone, talks to somebody, and he leaves. He comes back. He has on a full hoodie and a helmet, and somebody else on the back, and they start approaching my car, and I'm looking at him. Skinny Boy's like, "Yo, dog, I think they're coming over here." So I rolled down the window, was like, "Yo, it's me!" And they're like, "Oh, all right, Ant." And they got in, and they drove off. They drove off.
You were stranded there.
I was stranded in the hood. But then the tow truck comes, and it's not a regular tow. They have to send a flatbed for the car. By that time, it's been an hour and a half. I don't want to go to the game anymore. I just want to go home. But the car got towed, and we don't have anybody to pick us up. So we're standing on the corner of Van Ness and Century for 35 minutes.
And then you put this video on Instagram.
And we're standing here
That's how real it is.
at this Chevron.
Get that.
Oh, look.
Get that.
It's been...
Look.
It's high activity in the hood tonight.
I'm standing on the street corner. Put my belongings in a plastic bag. Somebody come get us.
Did anyone come get you?
My goddaughter.
Right.
My God. Because Uber would not come pick me up. I couldn't get an Uber tonight.
Wow.
You saw them police cars that day? That was like, nah, something happened in the hood right now, and we can't come.
Anthony Anderson, everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll be back with Fernanda Torres.